Okay, I don't know if I think that's going. All right, yeah, I think we're live there. And I'm going to try and get us live on YouTube simultaneously.
Stream could not be created. We're not tech wizards.
No.
Oh, maybe it just had to be refreshed?
No, I don't know what's going on there. All right, we're just going to do this on Facebook because I don't know how to get the YouTube thing to work. So, welcome everybody to another episode of General Geekery from Sovereign Hatchistan.
Live in person.
With me, as always, is JD in person.
Howdy.
And welcome to the second annual General Geekery Customs Challenge.
Reveal. We're done a couple of months, and here we are. We're going to show off the work we've done and explain where we were coming from on it.
Yeah, actually, give me 10 seconds here because I forgot to print something. So,
I have a list. Okay, folks. This is my handwritten list.
I'm going to go get on the list real
that
quick.
I made when we did our July 4th show. When we decided to put the challenge out to each other, I had taken an envelope and I had made a list of figures that I might want him to look at. You can see all my scratches and all my chicken scratch handwriting. And on the other side of it, while we were doing it, while he was feeding me the list of figures that he wanted me to make, I wrote it all down in a different color with also in my chicken scratch handwriting. So
I've got it on the computer. I can't get it to print. So do you want to go through the list of figures first?
Sure, we can read them off. You read off the list you gave me.
Okay.
I'll read off the list that I gave you, and then we'll see what each other decided to pick and how we pulled them off.
All right. So JD gave me to choose from Metalert, which was a DTC figure, a medic. The second one was Sonic Fighter Zap. The next one was Countdown. The next one was a Decepticon as a human. Sigma 6 Scarlet in 4-inch. Vapor was the pilot of the Hurricane. G.I. Joe Extreme Wreckage. And Hard Drive was the final choice.
Did you read Munitia?
Oh, Munitius. Yeah, I skipped Munitius. Sorry.
Another DTC character.
And I gotta say, the last time there were definitely some just off the list. I was like, not gonna do that. I'm not gonna pick that one. Not gonna pick that one. Not gonna. So I mean, there was definitely a couple on the first year that I immediately like, no, that's not gonna. This year, there wasn't one that I didn't sit down and try and part out. I actually, and as we go through these, I had the first one picked out from the beginning, and then had the second one picked out shortly thereafter, a couple days later, and I couldn't figure out the parts, so I had to go with another one. But I'm actually glad I did because I think it's one of my favorite customs that I've done.
The list that I gave to Brian, the one that he gave to me as ideas, let's see, to create my own specialty Viper class, all new, unmade by Hasbro or the club, all new Viper class. The number 2 was an all new Cobra Eco Warrior character, as in, and he specified in the original, as if this was a character, because in the original line in 1992, G.I. Joe got an expansion for the Eco Warriors, but Cobra only got a Toxo Zombie. But he wanted me to design a character as if this character had existed as a 1992 Cobra Eco Warrior.
A big bad, so like a villain.
But a character. So then he said an Eco Warrior Lady J. She's one of my favorite characters, so an Eco Warrior.
And Flint got a Eco Warriors figure, so why didn't Lady J?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it's like, how did they miss that? That would have been awesome, I think.
So Mutt, the Euro exclusive version, where He's not Stanley Perlmutter, or he's a separate character. He's a new character with a completely different paint scheme. A really cool one.
It is a really cool one.
Spirit, the Euro exclusive, who is Charlie Iron Knife, but he's in like this red and black stealth uniform, and
Also
he
a
is
really cool figure.
yeah, he's also an exclusive repaint over there. Night Vulture, the Cobra Air Commando, to reimagine him using. Well, I said
Basically, not Snake Eyes.
yeah, a not Snake Eyes version of, because Night Vulture always gets accused of being, why wasn't it just Snake Eyes or some kind of ripoff or the counterpart? But I decided that when he said it, make it not Snake Eyes. I said good, so no Snake Eyes parts then.
Like
Okay.
Munitia, he on my list, Munitia could not use any Baroness parts.
Yeah, so because they tend to just be,
Baroness.
and it's. Yeah, I wanted to see a lot more creativity. Let's see. He mentioned an evil blood brother of Spirit. So an all-new character again. A complete redesign of Decimator, the Cobra Hammerhead driver, who had an interesting helmet in the original line, but the rest of him didn't really look like a Cobra trooper. Didn't really look like an oceanic character. Yeah, it was kind of. It was interesting, but not fitting. Or a female specialty Viper, the way Brian does a lot of reimagine or revises a lot of the classic Cobra troopers, and he does them as female versions. So that was his other. So there were two that I scratched off the list immediately. Simply because one of them I had actually kind of started a while ago, and I'm like, I can't get a handle on it. And I tried for this, and I'm like, damn, still can't get a hold of this thing. And then there was one. I ended up combining two of them into one custom because I had the same idea, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why don't I just make it? So that's what I did. So there's actually, technically, 3 of these got done.
Which is kind of interesting because I took a page from JD's book. He does a lot, and I mentioned this in our challenge on July 4th, that he does a lot more backstory on his customs than I do. Not this time. Most of my customs are the backstory. So. I don't remember who went first last time.
Well, this is your house. I think you should.
All right.
Start off. We'll see your first figure, and then we'll take turns.
And of course, I've rearranged my customizing room, so I took anything that was collectible. It was just getting too dusty in here because I Dremel and I airbrush in here, so it was getting on the one on July 4th, I held up my hammerhead and I just like swiped off dirt. I restored it. It's done. It's out there.
Nice.
So I moved my complete flag out into my customized or collection room. And if you look on my on the YouTube channel, I do a walkthrough of down here. It's different layout, but if you've seen the video, you've seen how I have a deck of the flag and then like all of my favorite 3 3/4 inch figures on the deck of the flag. I put my customs on the flag and show JD the flag, and I'm like, because he's not going to find it on there.
I was looking, and I'm like, well, for one, there's so many figures on this thing. Easy to get sensory overload.
Yes, absolutely.
But I don't know, because I have no idea what he picked. I don't think I would have even known it had I looked at it. Plus, he's got some other like toy line stuff on there. There's a whole lot. So I believe he has them stashed in there. I'm getting my stuff together. One of the characters I picked ended up spinning off into a couple of other repaint figures that I did to support it. None of which Brian has seen, because I thought if I showed him those, then he was going to realize kind of one of the things that I picked off the list. So he's never seen it. A couple of guys have. KR Customs and SG Caper, they've seen them. Vegas Customs has seen a couple of them. But, yeah, Brian hasn't. So And my daughter, or my firstborn, they drew the character art for the ones that I did, because we're going to put file cards together for them using their art and the words that I wrote. So, all right.
JD said that in the episode that he fully expected me to do this figure, and he was right. My first one is the first one on the list. Metal art.
I was hopeful because I just wanted to see what you do. Because it would not look like an X-Wing pilot. I knew this.
So what I did, I'm going to show my card, and you can see that it's Flight Medic, and he has a new code name.
Okay.
And his code name is Nine Line. Nine Line is the military evacuation report that they give, that people on the ground give to the medevac when they're coming in.
Okay.
So it's 9 things that they've got. It's like their location, who's injured,
that's cool.
What, all of that kind of stuff.
So revised code name.
Yep.
But okay.
I
approve. I like this idea. Med Alert is a goofy name. Let's put it this way: his prototype code name was Crash Cart, because that's cool. But they just pulled out something they could trademark, because Crash Cart could not be trademarked. So Med Alert, what is that? That's weird. So
I'm surprised Med Alert wasn't trademarked already, honestly. So I did a double-sided card for him, and I will be putting these customs on the card after the show, probably tomorrow. So the top part is all the stuff from the original figure. His file name is Kirk Bacchus. I've changed his primary military specialty to pararescue. His secondary military specialty is now
Jesus Christ.
Tactical medical operations.
General Geekery, folks.
And his place of birth is Nashville, Tennessee, and I gave him a promotion.
The number of PFCs, or the number of E3s and E4s on the Joe team kind of drives me insane.
So I'm going to read the file card and then show the custom, because it kind of describes what I've done. The Joe known as Med Alert, having spent a few years on the G.I. Joe team, grew to realize the glaring lack of tactical medical support for his fellow injured Joes. He requested a transfer to the Air Force and graduated from the prestigious pararescue program.
Sweet. Oh, I like this.
He stayed with the PJs until he felt he had the experience that was needed to provide the best care in the worst places. He had to reapply to the G.I. Joe team, make it through the selection process and induction, something no other Joe has ever done.
I like that.
I don't have my reading glasses on. It had made him one of the most respected Joes when they realized he went through all of that just to take better care of his injured teammates.
Man, what a great revised. Oh man.
Nine Line resigned from the G.I. Joe team, made it through one of the toughest military programs on the planet, fought in some of the worst places in the world, then made it through the Joe selection process a second time, which is no walk in the park either. His dedication and self-sacrifice define what it means to be a G.I. Joe. Quote from General Flagg. So here's the figure.
Shit, look at that.
All right, so I wanted iconic weapon, because there's some weapons that you look at and you're like, that is so and so's gun. So this is the stock folds in.
Oh, nice.
This I am particularly proud of. The clip comes out.
Oh shit!
You can flip it around.
I'm so glad he's carding this. I would lose it.
And it flips right back in. So it's 2 magazines taped together. So when you're fighting, when your first magazine runs dry, you pop it out and slap it in upside down. But it's very iconic, which is what I wanted to go with. Of course, he's got a removable pistol. He's got a breaching shotgun that's removable.
He did that because he knows that I love the VBS guys and the breaching shotguns and all that. So
because it's on a little carabiner. So
Sweet.
the shotgun comes off. He's got a Marauder flight helmet, which is removable. Oops, his head popped off. Damn it. All right. I'll put it back on here in a minute. The backpack's removable. I was going to do a magnet, but I forgot about it, so it just pegs in. It's this particular bag is a very similar sculpt to the med bag that I carried when I was in Afghanistan. And then the body armor is removable. And then I airbrushed the camo.
Yeah, you did. Oh, wow, that's awesome.
None of that is hand painted. That is all. The camouflage is all airbrushed.
All right, so he's got a very similar helmet to Metal Alert's, which I thought was kind of iconic and an interesting design.
And that is actually the Marauder flight helmet is almost identical to the flight helmet that I used when I was a flight medic.
Nice. And so Metal Alert no longer looks like an X-Wing pilot. Thank you for that. Look, I love X-Wing pilots, but fuck, man.
So
talk
all
about
this gear is
shoot me
removable.
colors.
I mean, he's been sealed like 3 or 4 times, so the gear specifically can come on and off, even though it will go on a card.
My God, that's cool. Brian.
But I'm really proud of how the airbrush came out. Because I airbrushed all the cam, and I will be taking pictures of these, and we'll be posting those tomorrow.
So, yeah, dude, that's a great success.
Here, we'll put his head back on and see if we can get that helmet off, because...
You know what? When I nominated Metal Alert, my whole thing was Brian is... I'm like, he's a paramedic. That's what... He's been doing this for 25 years.
There you go.
He's been
the
doing...
head that I used.
He's been... Dude, I like that. Is that a cast? Is that...
Yeah, it's one of the... I've got one of my awesome followers, and I'm sorry I don't remember his name right off the top of my head, but he keeps sending me bags and bags of cast heads.
He's not kidding. Bags. Like Ziploc bags, like these size.
I can't say enough about how generous he is with the casts, and I try and most of my last few customs have used casts of his, and that is one of them.
But, you know, Brian has literally been doing his job longer than one of the people he works with has been alive. So I wanted to see... Well, and he had mentioned a long time ago he wanted to do more medic customs, but he just hadn't gotten it. So I was like, well, take the most obscure, forgotten about one that didn't make a whole lot of sense design-wise anyways, and see if you can make a realistic medic out of it. He did.
So one of the other features, he has a CRT, which is a crew restraint tether. So I wore one of these exactly when I was doing...
To clip a guy once he's...
No, it's you have to be attached to... So I wore one of these when I was doing search and rescue flights in South America. So when you're in a big helicopter, you have to be clipped in at all times.
No, I got you. They don't want anybody falling out. That makes sense.
Exactly, because we fly with the doors open. So this is actually a realistic piece of equipment because he would be clipped in. KR Customs asked where his IFAC is. IFAC is individual first aid kit. So there's his IFAC.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool.
He has chem lights.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And then shotgun shells for his tactical shotgun. Shit. I did the little wrist thing. It doesn't pop up.
I was gonna... What is that? Oh, that's right. Because Metal Alert was a repaint of Hard Drive who had a flip-up computer for the Valor vs. Venom line. Which, okay, all right, sweet. No, dude, I'm happy about that. I was going to add, what is that? Okay, all right.
But no, he's got the...
It doesn't have to pop up. I don't care. I love that the detail is there. And I wanted a realistic medic, and dude, I got that in spades.
So, yeah, all the gear's removable. There shouldn't be any paint rubs because I've sealed it like 4 fucking times.
I love the bio that you wrote here.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that. I love how that came out.
And you know what? It sounds realistic. It doesn't sound over the top like some of the latter day file cards tended to do. Well, or it doesn't sound generic like a lot of latter day file cards, because I don't remember a lot of what Metal Alert says.
He was like a Tai Chi instructor or something.
Yeah, it was, and a lot of non-specific medic stuff.
Yeah.
So really happy about this.
So there you go. That is my first custom.
Thank you. Okay. My first custom Okay, this is the one. One of the feet doesn't stay on. I know Brian can fix it. I tried. Everything I did, and it's worse now. So, my first one, you wanted a brand new Cobra Eco Warrior.
Ooh.
I give you Fallout.
Ooh. I like the code name. Man, that paint job is awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
I love that head too.
Joy Toy.
No shit.
Remove or swappable
Nice.
heads, so he can. Okay.
Nice. Magnetic backpack.
All right. If his paint scheme looks at all familiar, just a little bit, to people that have been in the G.I. Joe game for 20 years, this color combination, here's what was inspired by it. I thought, I'm going to make a Cobra Eco Warrior. Where do I start? I have an idea. Spy Troop's Tunnel Rat included all this purple armor that, according to the file card, he was supposed to be disguised as a Toxo Viper. The design for the Toxo Viper never existed in the toy line or the comics so it didn't exist then, and it has never existed since. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting idea. So I thought, okay, what if when Tunnel Rat infiltrated Cobra Island or wherever the Toxo lab was, what if he wasn't dressed as a Toxo Viper? What if he was dressed as this Cobra character named Fallout?
Nice.
So, the distinctive snake that's on the chest, I sculpted it.
No shit.
Yeah. Remember when I said...
couldn't tell that.
Remember when I said I used that chest armor from that Batman figure that I randomly... That's the chest armor.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I
sculpted it.
Yeah, no, I thought that piece was off that chest armor. Holy shit, dude. That's
it was not an easy thing to do.
No.
But I tried to get as many of the details to line up as I could, along with the color scheme.
I lost his foot.
Yeah, no, it won't stay. I can't. I fucked with it so much, and I can't get. I almost glued it in just to be done with it, but I'm like, if I can't fix it, I know Brian can.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll drop some glue in there and let it set, and then we'll redram
So,
the hole.
My idea was that, Tunnel Rat infiltrated. Well, what if he just knocked out Fallout and just took his armor for a mission and then threw it back as he was leaving,
I like
running?
that gun.
The gun, I wanted to go with an over-the-top style battle core crazy design.
Yeah.
So I took a Fortnite pistol, something off of a Transformer, and I glued it together and I painted it.
I like that.
So, and because I realized last week that gluing all the armor onto the chest fucked up the backpack hole, and I couldn't fix it. So I tried 3 different pegs to see if I could maybe glue it. I couldn't, so I used a magnet.
Those magnets are awesome.
But,
I love that.
Yeah, so basically, I didn't match the details on the armor, but I approximated it.
No, that's pretty close.
Tried to keep and I got the brown, and I matched the color of the belt to make it look like this is actually Tunnel Rat wearing this guy's gear.
Nice.
For a mission. So, the quick bio, I haven't had a chance to put file cards together. I had writer's block up until 2 days ago, so I couldn't get them written. And my firstborn did the art, and they didn't finish them because I sort of asked later than I should have. I commissioned my child to draw the art. But the bio that I wrote only came out because my writer's block cleared up finally. But that's the art that Arella did.
That came out nice.
Yeah, so I'll post the art on but yeah, they drew the art. I'm like, what about helmets? How do you feel about drawing helmets? She's like, or they said, you know what? If you're commissioning me to draw it, I will draw a helmet. So they drew a helmet.
Nice.
So
she did a good. He did it. They did a good job with that.
Okay, the quick bio. You're gonna appreciate this. Okay. Codename Fallout. His Cobra specialty is toxic damage control. Now, file name, Clorinzo O. Baraxovich. They're all puns on cleaning solutions. Chlorine, oxygen, borax.
Nice.
Born in Vitebsk, Vitebsk, Belarus. Okay. They've got a prestigious university there where they teach chemical engineering. So I'm like, oh, that's where he was.
Nice.
So he went to college. Let's see. His specialty before Cobra was a chemical engineer. As a child, he was fascinated by chemistry. After a family member gave him a science kit as a holiday gift.
Yeah,
Or anything like that.
all right, so we're back
sad.
for part 2 of the live stream
Wow,
here.
we're morons.
Thanks to our ineptitude at because I couldn't even get the Facebook, the YouTube's live stream thing to work. So
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Thank
Right.
you. Okay. Oh my God. You know what? If it wasn't for our better halves and Brian's mother, we wouldn't have realized that we were completely fucking that other one up. So,
anyway,
wow, do we suck. Anyways, thank you, loyal followers who are still watching. I don't even care if you laugh at us. That's okay. 'Cause
yeah,
honestly,
it's kind of deserved at that point.
yeah, I was going to say we've more than earned it. But anyways, so,
If it wasn't technical difficulties, it wouldn't be General Geekery.
no kidding. So,
Anyway, back to reading the file card for JD's first custom Fallout.
So, he's also a neat freak. He's always been paranoid about cleanliness. So, chemicals for ensuring cleanliness. Hence why I made his
I like
file
that.
name a bunch of cleaning puns. Let's see, he was a Soviet state scientist working in his native Belarus at a research facility when the fateful nuclear meltdown at Chernobyl occurred. He was a volunteer to help with the cleanup. But there, his interest in chemistry shifted. He became less interested in how to clean up the destructive chemicals and more curious about the potential to use them in his work. So, Cobra presented him the perfect opportunity just a few years later when Cesspool was hired to retrain the Toxo Vipers and give them a new mission.
Nice.
So, that's Fallout.
Big bad for the Eco Wars.
He's
I like
basically Cesspool's goon, or one of his. I mean, he'll work alongside Corroder, who I overpaid a little bit on eBay for him, but I had to get it to go with Fallout so I could take some pictures of them.
Oh wow, I've
But-
never seen this figure before.
You know what? He was a convention exclusive.
I figured.
He came in a 2-pack with DJ because the original Coruscant figure from Brazil was a repaint of DJ, so that's what they did there.
Nice.
Now, he's got a robot assistant called the Omnibot. What inspired it in the first place was I found this cool clearanced Ben 10 robot, and I'm like, well, I was going to give him a robot assistant anyway. But I got it, and I got 2. They were clearance, and I thought, no, it's too goofy. It's too out of scale with the Joes. But then I found my Mark I Iron Man from the comics, and I repainted it.
Nice.
I matched the colors, but I made it less silver and more Cobra, like metallic blue.
Nice.
And I transported these things.
I noticed that.
I dremeled, and I just, so...
Nice.
So, but he's not a battle android trooper. He's not an attack robot at all.
That's cool. I like
he
that.
collects the toxic chemicals he collects the cleanup chemicals that the Joe Eco Warriors use, and they're going to use them again and retoxify. I'm going as 90s as I can, and they're going to make him into shitty chemicals again. So.
Nice.
So yes, he's the Omnibot assistant of Fallout.
Nice.
So, all right. So my Cobra's brand new Eco Warrior character. He was my first choice, and the one that came together the quickest. And these things, by the way, $4 shipped off eBay. $4 shipped complete, because nobody cares about this figure. I'm the only person who ever used it to inspire a custom. So, and I didn't directly match the colors because I wanted it to pop just a little bit more.
All right. So for my next one, let's see. So I'm just going to go down the list for a second. Sonic Fighter Zap. I actually did start to piece this together. I was going to use the backpack of actually the 25th anniversary Zap backpack that has the missiles on it.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to use that as a chest piece, but I couldn't figure out. It was just too big. I couldn't figure that out. Countdown. I wanted to.
I only mentioned Countdown because he had a Defiant and that needed an astronaut to fly it.
I seriously considered Countdown. I was going to use Acid Rain made an astronaut a number of years ago, but those are really expensive figures, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want to. I have one, and I'm like, if I fuck up the custom, I don't want to ruin.
You can't. Yeah, it's too expensive to replace it, so that makes sense.
My next choice was the Decepticon as a human. This was going to be my second figure. I had 90% of this planned out.
Oh.
I was going to do Blitzwing.
Here, just show him without the helmet.
Oh, yeah.
The interchangeable helmet. It's Wonder Man from Marvel Legends.
Ah, okay.
But I just repainted it. I hate painting eyes, but I had to get rid of the red eyes. He deliberately looks like Dolph Lundgren.
Nice.
But the original head that I used was a Marauder one, but I had sculpted some extra, but he ended up looking too much like a Dreadnought. So I'm like, nope, I've got another Dolph Lundgren. So yeah, sorry, I forgot to.
So I was going to do Blitzwing. I was going to do the backpack that came with.
Oh, triple changer, right?
I was going to do triple changer.
Right.
So it would have been a human. It would have had the backpack from. Actually, I've got one right here that I did for my Flying Scorpion because I haven't been able to card that. It came with the Pursuit of Cobra.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So I was going to use that for the wings. I could not figure out how to do the cannon.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
because it's kind of critical if you're translating a robot into a human. You got to put as many of the signature robot weaponry in there.
I had it all planned out. Everything. I could not figure out how to do the cannon. My next choice was I was going to do Red Alert.
Okay.
Which was the Lamborghini.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was Autobot, right?
He was an Autobot. So I'm like, fuck, god damn it. So I scrapped that idea. Sigma 6 Scarlet.
That was before I realized that you were working on the City Strike Scarlet from the canceled, Rise of Cobra line?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait. I'm like, that's why. So it never occurred to me until just now. It's practically the same. Okay, yeah, because Sigma 6, they all wore the black suits, so it wouldn't have been that different.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't do that is because I was working on the City Strike Scarlet. I actually have a head for it because she has super long hair. It was in that bag of cash.
Goggles.
Yeah. So I had that all parted out, but I'm like, god damn it, I've already got this done for the City Strike Scarlet. So I skipped that. Vapor has such a unique head sculpt. And I've said time and time again, a custom lives or dies by its head.
And for the Cobra Troopers, you got to use the classic,
And I could not. I mean, I probably could have gotten. I probably could have gotten one from like AVAX Lab, but I didn't know that Didn't know if I'd be able to get a cast of the original in time.
The only reason I picked Vapor was because you had that badass repaint of the Hurricane VTOL, and he never made a Vapor. I thought, well, he'd have a pilot for it.
So I scrapped that one. Munitia, I was started on that one. I started using a Joy Toy, one of the Joy Toy female figures. Couldn't figure out the head. She's got a unique, she's like goggles, and she's got that like cap with the back. I couldn't figure out the head. G.I. Joe Wreckage was the only one I just wrote off the list because I looked at it and I'm like, it's too Wolverine-ish.
Yeah, it is too Wolverine. Once he mentioned that because he Googled it when we were on the July 4th show, and he's like, it's really Wolverine-ish, but he has got an eye patch, okay? But even Wolverine had an eye patch for a bit there in the comics. And
he called him Patch.
Yeah, I hadn't actually seen the connection, and I'm like, yeah, he's not going to make that.
No. So And the last one on the list was one JD said that this is a throwaway character. You're never gonna make this one. That's the one I made. So let me go. Get
Really?
it. Yep. I went with hard drive.
Which
When you stop and think about it,
is funny because
it's a repaint of Metal Alert.
That's so funny. Yes,
I
because
did not do that intentionally.
that's funny. Yeah, because the Metal Alert figure is the torso, arms, waist, legs they're orange, but yeah, they're from Hard Drive, who was a Valor versus Venom like computer tech guy. But he's a forgotten character because High Tech was there. So who cares about Hard Drive? And yeah, he was. So that's funny, dude. That's funny. I wouldn't have even. Okay.
So I did the same thing. It's got a different code name. It's now Flash Drive, still combat battlefield computer specialist.
But a little more modern.
No, well,
what the? Oh my God!
this is Zarena and Mainframe's daughter.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
Her name is Zoe Parker. That's Mainframe's last name.
Blaine S. Parker is his file name.
Zarena was based off of somebody, and her name was Zoe. So I used that
Holy
name
shit!
as
I
her
love
first
this
name.
so much.
Primary specialty is computer technology. Secondary military specialty is infantry, just like her dad. Birthplace is I can't even pronounce it, but it's where Zartan's lair is in the comic books.
Oh shit! Okay, all right. Okay. I'm not even gonna. You know what? It's a Native American language word. I'm not gonna try to pronounce. I'm gonna fuck that all up.
The apple didn't fall very far from the tree. The daughter of the G.I. Joe computer specialist Mainframe and Dreadnought Zarena. Flash Drive is about as tough and as smart as they come. She was raised by her mother and picked up all the tricks of the trade when it comes to disguise and infiltration, and looked to be headed down the same path. However, following discussion with their father, she enlisted in the Marines and never looked back. The other Joes were a little reluctant to have a daughter of the Dreadnoughts on the team until they found out her first mission was single-handedly infiltrate Cobra Island and upload a virus to their computer system that shut them down for a month.
Nice.
That and the time she put Leatherneck in the infirmary after he made a mistake of questioning her loyalty. And you thought her father was tough.
Put a big bad Marine in the... Dude, oh my God, I love this. All right, the Sunbow episode where she goes in disguise as military, but her and Mainframe are flirting. I love that pairing. So in my head, I always sort of ship them. Like it's canon that they got together, and I love it. Oh my God, I love this so much.
I basically did the military... I basically did the same outfit that Mainframe has. Got the bandolier, got some accessories on there. The accessories aren't removable. The pistol is removable. I used the Club Zarana head. She has a Dreadnought tattoo.
She does, on the back of her neck.
She has a Dreadnought tattoo,
sweet.
Which is not going to be very visible. She has the Marine logo and her last name.
God, look at that.
On her uniform.
Man, you do like some water slide decal. Oh, yeah, by the way, Fallout, he needs a Cobra sigil. I have the water slide I used his tutorial to figure it out. I still couldn't get the fucking thing to stick with the paint, so I figured we'd address that while I'm here.
So
I love this.
Iconic weapon. Again, she's got the little pistol. The magazine is removable. The stock slides in and out. It's a little difficult with the...
I'm gonna break it if I fuck with it. And then I can't fix it.
Instead of the big bulky computer, she comes with a laptop.
Okay, all right, good. You didn't paint the keys, did you? No.
Okay. And then a tablet.
Oh, sweet.
Instead of the backpack, I gave her a tablet. And holy shit, those eyes were a bitch.
Oh, hey man, I hate painting eyes. I can do it. I don't want to.
She's got
my
the
neck's
little
custom. Oh, he's got eyes too.
The little greeble on the leg, and then the knife. I just basically got Mainframe, and I sat down and I did a female version of Mainframe, and it is
so much. In a million years, if I could have predicted what he was going to do, I wouldn't have come up with something like this. Dude, I love this so much.
So, yeah, I am really happy.
You know what? This is a serious victory. I am very happy. I'm such a nerd. I can't help but nerd out about this.
So yeah, it's Zorana and Mainframe's daughter.
I love that so much.
I figured that the thing's stuck on there.
I know. It's okay. It's got it, dude. Yes. My hat is off to you, sir. I'm not wearing a hat, but I am. Oh my god.
That might get paint rubs. Some of that didn't get sealed as much as the other one did.
We're gonna card it anyways.
Yeah.
Which is good because I'd be afraid to fuck this up.
And the card is double-sided.
This is why you were asking me about what the hell that unit patch on Mainframe's. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, it's a real. I mean, it's based on a real Marine unit logo, but I don't know what it is.
And I forgot what it is, but I looked it up. KR Customs helped me with a little bit with that.
Last month, he texted me. He's like, what is the patch on Mainframes? And I knew what it looks like, but I'm like, I don't know what it is.
So
I
yeah,
didn't want to guess.
she's got the unit patch, and then her name and the Marine logo, and then the Dreadnought tattoo on the back.
God, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So
dude, oh my god, I'm so happy with this.
And then it's a double-sided card. Of course, she's got her picture as the file card, and then if you look up here, there's her.
Okay. Yep.
And then there's 9-line.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
And then on his card, and then she's right there.
He's in the they're in the top spot on their own card.
Yeah, it's kind of an Easter egg. When I make file cards, the figure that's on the card is the first picture.
Makes sense.
But they're both on each card. They're just she's at the top on hers, and he's at the top on his. And then I've got the blisters. I actually had to save blisters because I just carded a whole bunch of. And then
Okay.
And I want to put it just blade on here just to see what it looks like. Let me hand first
Yeah.
for a second.
I'm so geeked out about this. This is awesome.
That's what she'll look like on the card.
Sweet.
I'm really happy with that one.
Yeah, I would be too.
Let me see that for a second.
That's awesome.
And I think I might have to do an equipment blister for him, so I'll take some of this off for a second.
You want me to go with my second one, or you want to finish this first?
Let's just.
I don't want to mess up his chi if that's what he's okay.
Yeah, let's just see what he'll look like on the card real quick. Shit. Lost a shotgun. That's essentially what he'll look like on the card.
Sweet. Good, because the other two cards, for the figures he did last year, Cadet Deming and the Ninja Force Night Creeper, I've got them carded on my wall with some other art pictures that people have done. So these two will go right along with them.
Where'd her? Let's find her.
What? Her knife?
No, her tablet.
Oh. Wait. Oh, wait, it was stuck to the... Wait, maybe it's still stuck on the
I
card.
don't think so.
Shit.
Yeah, it'll turn up.
Yeah, it'll turn. It's probably on the floor then. Yeah, I picked it up and it was stuck to it, so...
All right. I just trying to not lose the equipment. So it's like a real figure that you'd open because we've already lost one of the accessories to it.
Yeah, and we both have had that problem.
Yeah.
As kids and as adults.
I bought a friggin' Rebel Tech Deadpool. The right hand gun hand. I opened the package. The right gun hand went flying. I opened it in the kitchen. Fucking went into a wormhole or something. I tore that kitchen apart. I pulled the dishwasher out. I pulled the fridge out. Gone. There wasn't a dog in the room to eat it. I don't know where it went. It's bright fucking red. Never found it.
My second custom that I'm about to had a different weapon than the one that's on the backpack right now, but that's because I did it, I modified it, and I painted it, and I fucking lost it. It disappeared into a pocket of space-time, and I had to come up with a separate melee weapon. A completely different melee weapon.
It's with my Deadpool hand.
It probably is. All right, so the second one. The Night Vultures. I love the idea, but I don't like them as troopers. I've never liked that. He looks like he should be a specialist. But I hate the snake eyes-ness of him. An air recon scout is a cool idea. Night Vulture is a really sweet name.
Right.
And the color scheme, everything was cool. All right, yeah, the bright orange, but it was the time. It was the Battle Corps time. But I like the idea. I don't like how often he's considered to be a Snake Eyes, because he really is. If you look at that figure, there's a lot of Snake Eyes niche about him.
Yeah.
So my aim with this was 0% Snake Eyes parts, 0% Snake Eyes influence, while keeping, while making him look stealth, but I didn't want any sort of Snake Eyes association. Then, when I was putting the figure together, I was looking at the list. I'm like, an evil blood brother, not a related blood brother, like as in genetics, but a blood brother is
like
in
a tribe.
Yeah.
Tribal brother.
So, or somebody, he's fought with. So an evil blood brother of spirit. Well, who's to say nobody knows what's under the Night Vultures?
Oh, I see you're going with.
So,
nice.
we do. So, the Night Vulture, it turns out, and it's a coincidence.
Let me go get him.
What?
Let me go get you got a blood brother for spirit. Let me go get my spirit custom.
Oh, good, because I made one of those too. I made my own spirit to fight him. I couldn't tell him, because then he'd know that I didn't pick it for the challenge. But, since he's upstairs, here's a quick photo. Yeah, I did my own version of Spirit to fight Night Vulture. But he's not going to see it, since he just went upstairs. The audience just saw the Spirit that I made.
So yeah, here's a sneak peek of my spirit, which I will be posting pictures of tomorrow.
Sweet.
And then his weapon. One of his weapons. This I like accessories. He's got a lot of accessories.
Oh, so does this guy. Okay, so Spirit in 1991 got an all-new sculpt. He was a commando. He was an air commando, the hang glider Joes. Well, I didn't realize until after I had already picked an evil blood brother for Spirit to be Night Vulture. I'm like, well, wait, that really fits. So, if there's a game of cat and mouse, or Eagle versus Vulture going on with the commanders of Cobra and G.I. Joe's Air Commandos, respectively, well, who's to say that if they don't corner each other and he unmasks Night Vulture, that he's going to realize that it's his old friend. So, okay, the Night Vulture. Remember that shitty bootleg line, and I said, did I send you one of the shitty Native American stereotype? I used the head off of it.
Sweet.
There's this bootleg, shitty Wild West dollar store line that I found at a grocery store where I live called Tops. It's the shittiest. They are the crappiest quality toys ever. But I always said, I'm like, I like the mohawk and the feathers that the figure has on his head sculpt. So, wait, grab the native too. Okay. If you know where it is. But
yeah, I do.
This is what the cards and the general quality for the shitty Wild West line looks like, okay? Their dollar store, they were literally $1 at the grocery store. But here's the Native American warrior, I guess, that I used. So, but as a joke a couple years ago, I sent this and another one of these to Brian, and I said, I wonder if he could ever use parts off these shitty figures to make a respectable custom. So, that's the head sculpt that I used for Night Vulture.
Nice.
So,
because we both have a thing for bootleg figures.
Yes.
I've got a bunch of bootleg Iron Man figures.
Yep. So,
nice.
Yep. Wait. Yep. So, I used it. I'm like, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so I had to paint the eyes on it. I'm like, God damn it. But, it's fine. But, so, all right. So I decided, Brian likes accessories. Brian likes figures that can store all their gear. So that was part of the mission. All the gear I give him, he has to be able to carry it. There's one thing that I don't have with me because I ordered it and I'm going to finish repainting it. But I finally found, okay, one of the things Brian said was in our July 4th show, the challenge show, was give him, if you're doing Night Vulture, give him a better wing thing than the club version for the convention, which was like the pop-out wings squirrel suit, you know, with the, and I'm like, no. So it took a while, but I finally found a claw glider, and I'm repainting it to look like the same color scheme and pattern as the Night Vulture's original hang glider.
Nice. But
it's not here. It's delayed. And I'm like, son of a bitch. There was no way I was going to finish it. So I'm going to mail it to you. I'm going to show it to you. But he's got like this hand-scrawled stripe of purple across the black. So I'm going to make a claw glider that actually looks like
nice.
But in the meantime, he's got a wingsuit. The source of this may or may not be from the same military branch that gave Sam Wilson, a.k.a. the Falcon, his wings. Night Vulture may or may not have stolen it from a facility and modified them.
Nice.
But he painted them himself in the classic blue and red of the ferrets and other classic Cobra vehicles. So, and yes, they do move.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They do. I kept the movement. I just, it's a part of a Joe 25th backpack. So he's got a wingsuit.
That is awesome. I was worried that I was going to break him, but
nope.
That's fantastic.
And, well, I took the Cobra sigil, if anybody's wondering.
It's an Alley Viper shield.
Yeah, and I just made sure that I didn't, so here.
Nice.
There you go. There's his wingsuit. And he does have a changeable head. So he does have.
I never thought in a million years to do that. Because I've been wanting to do my own Night Vulture custom, and I probably would end up using one of these backpacks and just copy.
Again, not Snake Eyes. It's a Fortnite head.
Nice.
But the Fortnite legs, beach heads, upper legs. Yep. The 50th torpedo. The torso. The web gear is glued down, but the torso is from a Rise of Cobra thing, but I added this gear on the arms. And the only orange I put was his dynamite sticks.
Nice.
His plastic, whatever they are. So, yeah, so if Spirit corners him and he unmasks him, he's going to realize, wait, that's my friend Lewis. So, but in the spirit of this, that was unintentional. I had to make my own Spirit. I really like the idea of the Toys R Us version, the Billy-looking version. I don't like the Billy head.
Yeah.
One of the things I really like about Spirit is the braids off the original. Remember when I said I was using one of those head sculpts that you sent me to cast? That's one of them. But
all right.
The braids are from a Fortnite figure.
Okay.
That I got on clearance, but that's my Spirit.
Nice.
So, yeah, so it's mostly, but these are off the Slaughter's Marauders. The feet are Star Wars. But remember when I said that I had the club Slaughter's Marauders Spirit? Yeah. I'd way overpaid for him. Well, I gave him the backpack. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Way overpaid to get a club Spirit. But I wanted the backpack, and I wanted Spirit anyways. But, yeah, so there's my version of Spirit. The jacket is there. The vest is Joy Toy.
Okay.
Yep. So... and the waist piece is, again, off the same Fortnite figure that I stole the braids from. So nice. I like the jungle getup, but not the Billy Predator style head.
Yeah, it's too iconic.
Yeah. So
I mean, I like the idea, but yeah, nice.
Yeah. So all right, now his art. Oh, yeah. Remember when we were discussing, remember when you texted me and you said, what tribe is Spirit? And I'm like, I don't know, because of all the Native American characters that the Joes have, and there's a handful of them, they're all specific except for Spirit.
We spent probably a couple hours trying
Yeah.
to figure that out.
So
one
near
night.
as we can tell, I think Spirit, Charlie Ironknife is supposed to be Pueblo.
Yeah.
His tribe is probably, because it's the right region of the country.
Right, where he's from on his file card, which is Taos, New Mexico.
And his tribe has always been portrayed as generally peaceful and and I'm like, well, so were the Pueblo.
Yeah.
They were not a warlike people at all. So,
Which is why I didn't give my, why I didn't put war paint on mine.
yeah, because it doesn't fit. But I decided that his blood brother would be Shoshone, which they weren't necessarily warlike, but they were a little more prone to violence. But they were threatened earlier than, but he's from Wyoming. Gillette, Wyoming was a city that I was in when I was a teenager. We drove through when we were moving to Montana, and I've always liked the name of it, Gillette, Wyoming. But
I think I worked there once.
you might have. That's right. Weren't you up there for a little bit doing medic work? You might have.
I was driving a seismic thing because the guy I was working for didn't have a medic job. He's like, come drive a seismic thumper for a couple of weeks and we'll...
Wouldn't that be funny if the characters that I picked for a birthplace had actually been someplace that you've been? But so
hard.
his tribe is Shoshone.
All right.
I wanted it to be specific, and I wanted to pick one that we hadn't seen yet. His character art, again, done by my firstborn child.
Nice. I like the style.
Yeah, they deliberately made it. I'm sorry, it's been a few months since they made they non-binary, so I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And I've known her. See, I've known her them since she was 6. No, probably since she was 3.
Yeah, we've been friends since they were she, and she was 3. But
it's so
I think 6 is when you first actually came out to visit and met. So
I've known,
but I'm learning and I'm doing my best. So, but yeah, there's the art that they did for Night Vulture. They made sure to keep the mohawk, and they did put one of the feathers.
I saw that.
But so the file card that I wrote for him.
Trying not to yawn. I got off duty this morning and I was up all night.
I'm not
working.
offended. So
I didn't get to bed until after 2 because we were running calls all night last night.
Primary military specialty, air recon scout, which is what the Night Vulture in the toy line is. File name Lewis Sandstone, birthplace Gillette, Wyoming. Having no inclination to be a coal miner as his father was, because Gillette, Wyoming has a lot of coal mining. That's what their industry was 100 years ago.
That's what we were doing, was looking for coal deposits.
So, yeah, and it's still going. So,
yeah.
Having no inclination to be a coal miner as his father was, Lewis would spend his time in the wilderness and the plains, away from the mine, and away and outside the town of Gillette. And away from the living arrangement that they had. He wanted to find his own direction. Once he could drive, he'd go even further from home. He learned of a sacred formation called Devil's Tower, which is a giant rock formation in Wyoming, and he heard Destiny's Call. He built his first hang glider so he could hike up to the top of the formation and fly down. Nice. A draftee to the conflict in Southeast Asia. Yes, it was Vietnam. But on the original file cards, every character that fought in Vietnam, it's always just said the conflict in Southeast Asia. So that's what, he was a draftee to Vietnam. He met another soldier in his unit named Ironknife, who saved him from the violence in his heart, awakened by his previous wartime experiences. Battle buddies soon led to friendship, and then the bond of blood brothers. After their service, though, after the war ended, he couldn't go back to civilian life. He lost contact with his blood brother and joined a paramilitary group that had a snake as a sigil. So basically, I'm implying that Night Vulture was actually there real early on, long before he ever found out that Spirit, who left Southeast Asia, went back to Taos, New Mexico, became a social worker, and then rejoined the army and then got picked for G.I. Joe. long before he ever realized that they were on the same. That they were heading. There was a collision going to happen between them. So
Nice.
Night Vulture became evil blood brother of Spirit.
Nice.
And
that's awesome. I love the backstory.
And
I see, this is what I was talking about on the July 4th. Is JD puts as much work into the backstory on his customs as he does his customs.
So here's his backpack. His backpack has slots. Brian loves figures that can carry all their gear.
That is a pet peeve of mine. I love figures that have a lot of accessories, but I didn't want to lose my accessories as a kid, so I wanted my figure to be able to hold all their accessories. So any G.I. Joe that I got that had a lot of accessories, I was happy, but I hate it. It just annoyed the hell out of me if they couldn't hold all their gear, because I was going to lose that particular piece.
So I made sure that Night Vulture could carry all of his gear. He's got dual quivers he carries 2 crossbows.
Nice.
He's got dual quivers filled with arrows. It's a Hawkeye accessory, a Marvel Hawkeye accessory. I've had it for years, and I said, someday I'm going to find a Joe custom to use it on. Well, Night Vulture came calling. So the accessory I lost was a pitchfork. All right, it was like a melee combat weapon. I lost it. But I already had the Lego pieces glued to the bottom of this thing to carry said pitchfork. So I said, well, he's got to have a new melee weapon. So I gave him a mace, a Morning Star.
I like that. That's cool. I think the Morning Star is better than the pitchfork. Honestly.
You know what? I did too. After I'm like, oh wait, shit. I like it way more. I can imagine him
swinging that thing while it's flying. I like that a lot.
So, and the handle is a Fortnite, one of those pickaxe things that they come with.
All right.
But yeah, it clips perfectly in. It fits with the Lego handles that were already there. It's a piece of Bazooka's 25th backpack. Okay. But yeah, it's got a holster for a Marauder pistol. It's got kind of I figured it's a laser rangefinder or something glued in there. And he can hold the Fortnite crossbow.
Oh, wow. That's actually not a bad sculpt.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It was gold but I'm like, it's going to be black. And one of the Night Creeper crossbows with the 6 arrows. Oh, no, wait. I mixed them up because they're different size handles, so I had to adapt this one a little bit. So he can carry both crossbows at the same time when he's not flying the claw glider or his wing pack.
Nice.
So the Night Vulture is ready for any combat situation G.I. Joe will throw at him.
Very nice.
The Night Vulture.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love the fact that you blended 2 of the characters in together.
I'm such a nerd.
It works.
Yeah, okay.
I never thought to do that. And yeah, I friggin' love the wingsuit.
Well,
or the wings. I mean, that is...
Well, all of a sudden, once I decided I was going to do this Cobra Eco Warrior character, I'm like, well...
That is awesome.
Then I realized, wait, I don't have any of the modern Cobra Eco Warrior figures because they were all convention exclusives. Yeah. So I overpaid for the Toxo Viper, but not that much. All right, so, I mean, he's cool, but... Basically, Fallout was going to need troops to be in charge of, so there's the Toxo Viper. Here's who I really overpaid for was Cesspool.
Oh.
He's got the original Cesspool helmet because the new one, the modern one, comes with that shitty sci-fi, and it doesn't fit But I way overpaid for him. For a lot of the Lost 90s characters nobody cared about then, the club versions, they cost a shitload of money. So, but I'm like, well,
awesome.
I've got to have Fallout's boss, and I've got to have his underlings. So, there, I bought a Cesspool.
Nice.
And, which inspired a couple of customs.
So this is his vintage helmet?
Yes. With part of a Fortnite something or another as the breather tube, because it didn't come with it.
Nice. No, I like that.
So,
that is fantastic.
it inspired this other thing because I realized the club never made a Sludge Viper. They made a character named Repulsor that's kind of, but I think it's an individual, and it's not a convincing Sludge Viper either. So
Sorry. They're asking to bring him on the camera. Bring who on the camera?
who? Oh, hey Lance Davison Crownover, the guy who got me started on Doctor Who. I'm glad you're watching. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, who do you want to see on the screen? Because we got a lot of stuff here in front of us.
I was gonna say the customs or the Eco Warriors or what?
Sorry, I haven't been watching the comments.
Yeah,
I just now noticed. I'm like, oh hey, people could comment on this.
Yes. Well, what this
This
inspired.
is only the second time we've done this live. So.
What I realized was they made a the club made a Toxel Viper. They didn't make a Sludge Viper. Well, I had these stupid Hydra soldiers from the Captain America First Avenger line. I thought, you know what? I'm going to do some quick sloppy repaints and turn them into Sludge Vipers. Okay, well, they've got Joy Toy leg armor and part of her Marauder gas mask glued to their torsos to make it look like their equipment. But, yeah, they're just shitty, heavy hydro whatever. But I
love the paint job on them.
Fuck, I hate painting yellow, but
airbrush.
Yeah. But I think they make pretty convincing Sludge Vipers.
Well, I saw him sitting in the bag, and I'm like,
What is that?
and I'm like, dude, did they? Where the fuck did you get a new sculpt Sludge Viper?
Nope. Because Hydra, it's a fucking Captain America Hydra.
Sludge Viper is one of the ones that
I had one of them
list to get because I don't have a vintage.
I had one of them, and I'm like, but I need a second one. So I went on eBay. Those things are fucking cheap on eBay. So it was like $10 shipped. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a second Sludge Viper. But that all inspired. Well, I have a Cobra septic tank, which is upstairs. I'm gonna photograph with it. But that doesn't have a driver. Well, it needs a driver. Cobra Eco Warriors, rip it! I couldn't show you these things because it would tip you off to the fact that I was making a Cobra Eco Warrior.
So here's so far as the customs JD has done for one.
Plus this guy. And Eco Warriors, rip it. This is the most garish, ugly thing I could possibly come up with. So it's
I don't even okay, hang on a sec here. I don't even want to mention the fact that I was going to do one.
Were you really?
I was. I was going to do a fucking Eco Warriors Rip It, and I was going to paint it yellow.
Nice. Well, you can still do that. Send it to AVAC for his construction vehicles. But, yes, Eco Rip It. This is my 5th custom version of Rip It that I've made. But I'm like, how can I make it different from the rest of the Cobra Eco Warriors? Just as ugly.
Yeah, that is
and
hideous.
just as
it's beautifully hideous.
It blends. It contrasts so beautifully with the ugliness of the septic tank. It's horrible. It's an eyesore and a half.
Yeah.
But I couldn't show these repaints to Brian because I thought, no, he's going to realize I'm making an Eco Warrior.
He needs a sigil.
He does. I figure
we'll give him one tomorrow.
But
I've got Cobra sigils for
yes, so basically the one Cobra Eco Warrior I was making for this ended up being a bunch of figures I'm overpaying for or figures that I'm making. The other option that I didn't do, Euro exclusive Mutt, is an interesting figure. It's a shit ass character. What's basically written on the file card is that all dogs everywhere listen to this guy, and we don't know how, but basically all dogs listen, and there's nothing else to him. I'm like, I don't even want to reimagine that. He's clearly not supposed to be the same character as the American Mutt, but there's nothing to go with, so I decided to make a lazy bastard version from Marauder. It's all Marauder and Joy Toy parts. So I used a World War II figure.
Nice.
And I just gave him a little bit of character, made him older.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got a Joy Toy, SWAT vest on. But
carrier.
yeah. But I didn't want to go. I didn't figure what I was doing was really worthy of the custom challenge.
Yeah.
So I just decided, you know what, I'm going to make him.
What head is that?
It's one of the Marauder World War II heads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it had white hair. I just wiped it with the orange a little bit.
Ah, okay.
But his dog, who according to the package art is also supposed to be junkyard, but again, he's not. So I got a Marauder MTF dog. Well, we used to have a dog that had brindle fur, brindle colored fur. Well, I thought, okay, first of all, if this guy is not going to be mutt, by the way, instead of mutt, his name is mongrel. Okay, I didn't even go creative with it. I pulled a thesaurus, and I'm like, what's another word for mutt? Oh, mongrel. Okay, that works. So, but we had a dog years ago that had a brindle coat of fur, and it's beautiful.
Sarah had brindle.
But I repainted the all-black Marauder dog with a brindle fur coat. Brindle is a bitch to paint. I don't recommend it.
I've tried it once.
Here.
Nice.
So I thought I'm going to do brindle as much as I could. And since it was supposed to be mutt and junkyard, but not mutt and junkyard, they're mongrel and rubbish bin.
Rubbish bin.
Yeah,
That's very British.
So yes, that rubbish bin and mongrel.
Nice.
So, but again, not worthy of the challenge, but worthy of making a custom of. So, Euro mutt, but yeah.
But
so,
not. Holy shit, you went crazy, dude. All I did was 2 figures. JD did what, 6?
but technically only 2 of them are for the challenge. I just got inspired by these things. So, what happened was, all summer I've been working on this shit. I've been picking away at it. Brian's probably thinking I'm not customizing. Well, I was,
Oh, no,
but
I figured he was working on the challenge stuff.
But but these were like 2-day customs.
Yeah.
Not like literally 2-day customs. So, oh, that's my alarm that says use your inhaler because you can't breathe. So, my daily inhaler.
Okay.
So, I will send you pictures of the claw glider as soon as it's painted, and I will mail it to you.
All right.
Because what I discovered is that the 25th anniversary claw gliders, as many of them as they made, they are fucking expensive.
Really?
They are crazy. The 25th versions, they were like $90. Buy it now.
Are you shitting me?
Even the Rise of Cobra repaints that were clearanced at Target, they're going. Some of them are. I could not, for the longest time, I could not find a modern claw glider for less than $45 shipped.
Holy shit.
I'm not kidding.
I was gonna buy a bunch of them for my terror drone because they hang on the wall.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
I'm not gonna get a.
They're not cheap because I finally found one last week.
I got one in the drawer.
I finally found one last week. It was incomplete. There's nothing to it. It was just the red glider from, again, one of the Rise of Cobra repaints.
Yeah.
But shipped, it was like $20. But there was nothing out there. It's missing pieces. But I'm like, fine, that can be, but it's not here. In fact, I got the delivery notification yesterday. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Figures.
So I'll mail it. But so technically, he'll have 2 ways to fly and a shitload of gear.
That's awesome. I love that.
So, but last year I kind of went crazy with the accessories, kind of make him deluxe style.
Yeah.
But this year I did basically a 2-pack and a deluxe figure. So,
Nice.
success?
Success.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you for watching. I'm gonna see if we can get both of these episodes up on the General Geekery YouTube page. Since I couldn't get to YouTube to stream, it said it needed software or something. I don't know. I should have looked into this a little before we started doing this.
Have we ever been good with preparation? No. Would we be General Geekery? Would we be Brian and JD if we were? No.
Probably not. So please do all that fun social media stuff. Like, share, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Comment here. I actually, now that I remember, I actually have taken pictures of the customs that I've made.
I did this morning. I found the perfect photography spot at the bed and breakfast we stayed at my girlfriend Tanya's brother got married yesterday. The bed and breakfast had this cool little swampy area with all this pond scum. So I took the septic tank out
Nice.
and I took a picture of it in front of like the reeds in the swamp with the pond scum.
Nice.
I couldn't find anything like that back home. So I have a couple pictures. While I'm here this weekend, we're going to take more pictures of the customs so I can post them.
Yep. And so I will have up my pictures along with the front and back of the file cards. I might be able to get those up tonight because those are ready to go. They're just on a hard drive upstairs or a flash drive.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks for watching. I think this is one of the coolest things that we've been able to do is this customs challenge. I have a blast doing this every year.
Me too. Well, next year we're going to do it again, but we have some logistics to discuss. But we're talking about expanding it a little bit. We're not going to go into that now because
we have some plans for
some ideas.
There will be a third annual customs challenge.
Yeah.
But we have an idea of separate customs challenge where we're going to include the viewers.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So I don't want to commit to it.
Yeah. So we're gonna hash that out this weekend because I've got an idea that I want to run past JD. I think when he hears what I got in mind, I think he'll be
perhaps. Try not to put any pressure on myself for next year because my creativity ebbs and flows. And by ebbs, I mean sometimes it's way over there. And by flows, I mean sometimes it's right in front of me and I can't concentrate on anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. But yeah, thanks for watching. There will be a third annual customs challenge. Hopefully we will be able to do the unveil in person again next year.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because Tanya's family lives out here. So she's in
But this was perfect. Her brother was getting married. I'm like, so we can combine a visit, which I was planning to do this year. So, sweet.
Yeah. So as always, thanks for watching. And I will try and have this up on the YouTube channel. And if you're watching the YouTube channel right now, let's just say
then
that,
we figured it out.
yeah. So thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, people.
Good night.